This wind needs to find something else to do besides hang out on my porch. So it's extremely comical to me that in the industry that if you don't shoot a particular brand or excuse me, let me back up. If you don't shoot what that person likes as far as bow brands go, then you must hate it, which to me is extremely immature. I don't like Coors Light, but I still drink beer. I mean, I will drink it, but I mean that means it must be free and there's nothing else available. Now, I know predominantly I shoot a prime. I have for many a years. It's a company that I've worked with for a long time. They've been very good to me, and I like their bows, and I shoot them extremely well. But on top of that, I also shoot a Bowtech. I also shoot a Darton. I also shoot an APA. I've shot a bear. I've got a Muzzy bow fishing bow. I mean, I'm a bow hoe. I love them all. I hold no allegiance. And I shoot a PSC too. I forgot the most expensive one I got. So with that being said, my buddy left his lift here, and it's for sale, not on sale. And he happens to be the exact same draw length as me, pretty much the exact same peep height. The only difference is but the only difference between this bow and what I normally shoot is this one's a 60 pounder. Now I will go ahead and let y'all know I did a review last year on the lift at 70 pounds, my specs and all that good jazz. I do not like the draw cycle. I'm personally not a fan, but that's why there's more fish in the ocean. You don't have to keep the only one you catch. I don't care for it. If for somebody who shoots as much as I do, and compared to some of the other bows in my arsenal, this one's not very forgiving. But it is a extremely fast bow, and when you go and build a extremely fast bow, you're going to have a short brace height, which is going to make the draw cycle more aggressive. So I mean, I expect that. So I'm not a speed bow guy. If I want speed, I shoot a lighter arrow. I like to shoot a lot in general, so I don't want a bow with a super short brace height, and it's IBO's over 350 or whatever this thing is. Actually, what is the IBO on this thing? I think it's high 340s. Y'all let me know in the comment section, I'm sure. But today I just want to shoot this thing, have a little fun with it. I forgot my buddy has a clarifier. Where is the target? There it is. Wow, blew through that click, didn't you, Scotty? A lot of people ask, Scotty, why don't you have Mathews in the shop? Well, it's not from lack of trying on my end. It's a matter of too many dealers in the area, and I respect Mathews for that, even though they haven't called me back to actually give me an answer yet. But I can take a hint. Ooh, hell of a crosswind. Would we sell them? Absolutely. I could probably sell a couple hundred of these a year easily. But that's the nice thing about starting off with some of the brands I have started off with that have done business with me is it's taught me how to outsell other brands. And in order to do that, you have to really do your research and do your homework so you can explain to the customer what you're getting from one brand versus the other. This riser is really, really long. Kind of like that. Tell you what, I can't get down with this grip. My buddy's got the B Real grip on there, and once again, like I said in my TikTok video that I post or probably posted by the time I post this video, uh, grip is really about preference, and I prefer something different. Obviously, a lot of people like them. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a bunch of them on everybody's bows. I will have to say, when it comes to changing the draw weight on a bow, Mathews wins. There's no comparison. The switch weight mods, without having to change the limbs, and literally all you do is change the mods for different poundage variances, is unprecedented. Unprecedented. You know what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why this college dropout works behind a bow counter. I will say, going from primarily shooting a prime to a bow that doesn't have the grip in the middle of the riser and being very unbalanced, it's definitely obviously a different feeling, but it does want to hold on target pretty well. Till that wind hits it and wants to. But that's any bow. I will have to say, shooting this bow at 60 is pretty delightful. However, I can still feel that hump on the back end, which is obviously more exaggerated with the more weight you have on these bows, which is something I highlighted with this bow last year on the 70 pounder. Starts off pretty easy, but right there, right before you roll over, is where it wants to catch you. Now, once again, with the 60 pounder, you have to draw it slow to really amplify it. And so if I draw it fast or with a regular draw cycle, really don't notice it. But on that 70 pounder, It didn't matter how I drew it. It was there. I just barely feel it. Overall, guys, I'm making this video to prove that I am not a hater, and this is a bow that I could definitely shoot. So to everybody on all my platforms that say I am a hater, that is a crock of shit, because that is not the case whatsoever. It's just a bow that I don't get to get my hands on and actually shoot very often. We work on tons of them in the shop. But it's a bow that I could shoot, which, I mean, I like to think I can shoot just about any bow. Just, it depends on what I'm doing, where I'm going, and god dang it, when quit. Feel like I'm back in Oklahoma. But to wrap this video up, just because somebody's not shooting a brand that you particularly shoot doesn't mean they're a hater. It just means they might like something different. That's why when you go to an archery shoot, you see hundreds, if not thousands of people, depending on the shoot. Everybody's shooting different brands and nobody's walking around like, ha, you peasant. But to be perfectly honest, I love the competitive nature between people and brands and brand manufacturers and whatnot. It's what strives me to be a better shooter behind whatever bow I'm shooting that particular day. Because contrary to popular belief, I'm not always shooting the same bow.